Hey YouTube, Common Collector here, and today I am very excited to be bringing you guys my bad reaction to Simochi, otherwise known as Nurse Burn deck profile. Now this is a deck that I've been playing for a very long time, but I was not playing it when the Nurse variant came out because back in the day all I ever had was bad reaction to Simochi. I have a GOAT format version of this deck, which is a lot of fun. Hopefully I'll profile that someday for you guys as well. But for today, I wanted to bring you guys current format bad reaction to Simochi, which utilizes the Dark Lord Nurse, as well as a lot of really great cards that just can help to stall in the meta, as well as like plow through your deck. So yeah, without further ado, let's just get on into the deck profile. Also, if you guys are new to the channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button, as well as checking out the Patreon. Links to everything will be in the description, as well as my Facebook group where we host tournaments. If you guys do join in on the Facebook group and want to join in on tournaments, there are discounts or even free access to tournaments if you are on the Patreon. So go ahead and consider checking all that stuff out. Anyways, let's get on into the deck profile. So we have our 3 copies of Bad Reaction to Simochi. Obviously, this is the heart and soul of the deck, so while this continuous trap is on the field, basically as long as you activate any effect to increase your life points, you or your opponent, then the damage is inflicted to your opponent instead, which is really awesome, which is going to bring us on into our next best trap card of the deck, which is 3 copies of Gift Card. This card is insane. It is the best, most free trap card that you want to draw for the deck. Basically, with Gift Card, your opponent gains 3,000 life points. However, if you're paying attention to the deck, we have Bad Reaction to Simochi. So when you have Simochi basically face up on the field, Gift Card does 3,000 damage to your opponent, and it's your simplest win condition of the deck. If you can draw 2 or even 3 of these in your opening hand along with a Simochi, you win. Like, you know, if you can draw 2 and then 1 other card, it is super awesome. So our next really good card for the deck is 3 Paths of Destiny. This is all pretty standard. Basically with this, both players flip a coin, call it heads or tails, and then if it's heads, you gain 2,000 life points. Tails, the player takes 2,000 life points of damage. However, with this, if you have Bad Reaction to Simochi, no matter what your opponent flips for their coin flip, they take 2,000. Then it's just up to you to try to pick up 2,000 life points, or you might take the damage with your opponent. But generally, our life points are pretty safe due to the other cards that are in this deck, which we will get into the spells a little bit later. I'm kind of doing this in backwards order with the traps first, just because it's a little bit easier, because the traps are sort of like the main theme of the deck. Then we're going on to 3 copies of Try and Guess, which with this card, this is why we sort of built our extra deck strategically with a whole lot of fusions, because fusions really aren't played very much, kind of depending on the format as well. You can kind of change this up, but you're probably not going to be taking this deck to any kind of a regional events. Please just sort of use this amongst your friends and then like maybe pull this out once every now and then. If you want to bring it to a locals, sure, but you're probably not going to be making any new friends if you do that. But basically with this card, each player, if they have an extra deck, you declare an extra deck monster card, Fusion, Synchro, or XZ, and then both players reveal that type, and then whoever has the most of those cards gains 3,000 life points. So basically, if you know that your opponent is not playing a whole lot of fusions, you can do this to gain the life points yourself. Otherwise, you can call out like synchros. We play 0 synchros in the extra deck. So if your opponent, you know that they have a synchro in their extra deck, then they gain the 3,000 life points. You know, just like super easy way to do another 3,000 damage, just like your gift card. So then going on, we have our 3 copies of Solemn Judgment. This is just to protect your board, make sure that your Simochi and your Mystic Mine does not get blown up. Also, for that protection, we're going on into 3 copies of Solemn Strike. I would say once the new, I believe it's Pot of Disparity is going to be coming out in Blazing Vortex. Once that comes out, I would definitely bump this maybe down to 2 and then try playing like Pot of Disparity because then that means that you're going to be able to kind of search around for more stuff like your Judgment. Or even maybe I would just take Extravagance out of the deck, but then we're going to go on into 1 copy of Metaverse just to search for our field spell. And for that field spell, obviously we are playing 3 copies of Mystic Mine, which basically shuts off all of our opponent's stuff and our deck can basically reign free because we only play 2 monsters in the deck at 3 copies apiece, which really isn't much. We're never trying to search for them or anything, and one of them is just a backup if we don't draw it into our Simochi. So overall, Mystic Mind is super perfect for the deck, helps us to stall. So along with that metaverse, we want to play our 1 copy of Terraforming. Then for just a little bit more draw power, we're playing 3 copies of Pot of Extravagance. We really don't need our extra deck, so this is just a great way to draw into the deck and try to pick some extra stuff up. Then next we have our 3 copies of Pot of Duality. Again, once Pot of Disparity hits, I'm sure that this will kind of look a little bit differently, but as a budget option, these are probably still just going to be better because Pot of Disparity will probably be like a $120 card when it comes out. So overall, Pot of Duality, really great for just searching around for whatever you need. Then for our last 2 cards for draw power, we have 1 card of Demise and then 1 copy of Upstart Goblin. Upstart Goblin is super free in this deck because as long as you have your Bad Reaction to Simochi or your Dark Lord Nurse on the field, then you get to draw a card, and then your opponent takes 1,000 damage, and you just get to laugh at them. It's super hilarious when you get Upstart Goblin off. I just absolutely love it. It's so funny. Then for our final spell, I do like playing the 3 copies of Reign of Mercy, because if you can get 2 Reign of Mercy, or like a Reign of Mercy and an Upstart, then you just need 2 of the 3,000 damage cards, your Try and Guess, and your gift card. So it just kind of gives you a little bit more options, and it's like there are spells so you can play them on your turn, so it kind of goes a little bit faster. So that way if you get your Dark Lord Nurse on field on your first turn, you can activate those spells right away just to kind of get things rolling. But anyways, for our monsters, we're going to be playing the 3 copies of Dark Lord Nurse. Basically, this does the exact same thing as your Bad Reaction to Simochi. The downside is that their effects don't stack, but that would probably be a little bit broken, because like if you had this and Simochi on the field and then they stacked, then a gift card could do theoretically 6,000 damage, which would be insane. Then lastly, if we don't draw into our Mystic Mind, Battle Fader is just sort of there for a little bit of stalling, but overall you don't totally need this. If we had, I mean, like you could play like Planet Pathfinder just to have like an extra way to search for our field spell. But overall, Battle Fader can be pretty nice for just sort of ending turns. So you can kind of flip-flop it between how you like. I just tried to save my normal summon for the Dark Lord Nurse in case I needed it. So that was sort of the reasoning there. Then for our extra deck, I just, you don't really need anything too specific. But just in case you get a Dogmatica matchup, playing Cyber Dragon Nova and Invoked Mechaba is a good combo. Also, if your opponent is playing like something like Heroes, where they're primarily fusions, and you're just sort of trying to sort of finagle your extra deck with your Try and Guess, you can sort of, since we have the 1 XZ in here, you can sort of play around with certain things. We have the 1 Invoked Mechaba to summon off of the Nova. Then just for some extra graveyard hitting stuff, we have our Skull Knight, 2 copies of Entis, because when like Natis hits the graveyard, you can do both of these actually, I believe, off of the Dogmatica Maximus. So it just works. Then I literally just filled in the rest of these fusions with what I just sort of had in sleeves laying around. Actually, I just really like this card, Bickery Box, so I actually put him in a special sleeve just for this video. Probably the only time I'll ever profile him, so I kind of wanted to give him a little shout out. Yeah, again, just these cards do not matter. I just sort of pulled some of my favorites. Blue Eyes Ultimate, Dragon Master Knight, Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, and then my 5-headed dragon misprint, which I absolutely love to just show off, and this was a great excuse for it. But anyways, guys, that is going to do it for the deck profile. There's really not much to say about this, but I am going to try to be getting a Twitch stream going at some point. I don't have Twitch right now, but I really do want to get Twitch going at some point here. So if you guys do want to see this deck in action and you actually want to see it while I'm recording live, hopefully I can get a Twitch going sometime soon. If you guys want to see this in action, just wait for me to do like a Dueling Nexus or EDO Pro, like recorded duel. And besides that, just go ahead and please check out the Patreon and the Facebook group, the Instagram, wherever you guys want to find me. All my social medias and stuff are going to be down in the description below. Again, if you join on the Patreon, you get access to extra videos, access to the Discord, as well as pictures of my trade binder, where you guys can actually pick up cards for me if you guys need them. And you guys can always message me for any other trades or sales that you guys need, as well as you guys get your name at the end of every video, which you guys will see at the end of this video, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So if you guys want to just check that out, I would really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Common Collector out.